as like us. You know what I mean?
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm
Why?
logged in as me.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine. You can do that
Okay.
if you want.
Anyways, we're live.
I know. I am. Yeah. So, what was it? What did you tell me? Oh, uh, so how do you feel about white actors leaving biracial roles?
Oh, I
That
didn't. You can put the video up. I didn't watch any. I didn't read any specific stories, but I did see one where I think it was an animated. No, was it an animated show?
I mean, that was primarily it. It was about animated ones.
Which show is that?
I don't know what show, but it was the one with Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah. She was playing a biracial little girl.
Right.
I don't know what the show is. I honestly don't. But he wanted to know my opinion about it, and I'm like, well, I mean, I guess it's good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And if it's biracial, I mean, how do you pick, right?
How do you pick?
How do how
Which
do you
one?
how
You
do
want to
you
be more
choose?
white or you want to be more black?
Right. Can you just change out the actor every day? Just uh, no, I think broadly it's like overall it's a good thing to
Yeah.
for people to recognize that there's basically unlimited, not unlimited, but there's white roles filled with white actors,
Right.
in abundance, right? And
Right.
to leave those, minority roles or black roles or even biracial roles for underrepresented communities to fill
Hmm.
those roles. And somebody like Kristen Stewart's not going to have a problem getting another role, right?
Right.
So you can get somebody maybe less known or somebody that's equally talented, and
Hmm.
to fill that and have that opportunity.
I pretty much told him it addresses two things. The fact that there's like some grant, and I said like granted in the last few years I've noticed like there have been more minority roles
Mm-hmm.
or more people of minority background filling roles. But I think I had said it's underrepresentation of minorities for particular roles, whether it's cartoon or whatever. And then it's also, the right of privilege, where I guess she and amongst other people, like, what's this? I forget this other actress name, but also Frank Azaria is pulling away from playing voicing Apu in The Simpsons.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just told him like, and then what the next thing he asked me was, okay, so, and I had expressed that I don't feel that her initially going into the cartoon role was inherently racist or insensitive. Like I don't think she purposefully um, filled that role and it came off as racist. I didn't view it that way. I think it's inherently insensitive if you have a cast of people, whether they're black, white, Asian, whatever, and then you purposely fill that role or give it to that white person because you inherently don't want the other races to play that role. That's where it's racist. But hell, I didn't even know until like a couple of years ago that the Cleveland Brown from the Cleveland Show was white, the voice actor.
I never looked into it, but
I never do.
that's part of the I wouldn't say the issue, but it's part of the I mean, I guess the problem, but the privilege and
Yeah.
there's so few, right? So I was did read one article that's not related to this directly, but semi-related, where the Black Panther movie, where they were saying, yeah, the
Oh
Black
yeah.
Panther movie had pretty much all black cast, all black crew, producers, directors, and everything, but that was like the only movie and the only production set, not just
Hmm.
actors, where there was any like reasonable proportion of Black crew members
Yeah.
involved. In every other one, they were like, so I mean, they specifically set out to find Black crew members to film the movie, to do all the costumes, makeup, all the behind the scenes stuff. But part of the problem is they actually had to go out and look for these people to fill these roles because they weren't already there, right? And so, it's good that, people got their opportunity, but this shouldn't be the only movie, the only series where where
Right.
there's any sort of proportional representation at all. Nobody wants to say, hey, go fire all the white people and hire exclusively Black people or anything. But at the same time, it's like you're saying that these people are good enough to make this $1 billion movie. Like why weren't they in the other ones?
I know.
Why aren't they in more series? Why don't we see their names more often now? Producing, being involved in such a successful movie will probably help in the future, but you know what I mean? It's just it's strange that we have to like create a space rather than there's already like representation throughout our general spaces.
The weird pushback is when I notice when people like want to bite back when a role that they perceive to be should be a white role is filled by another race. And then they're like, no, that's supposed to be, for a white person. I'm like, how? Why? Or why is that more fitting?
Right.
Versus,
Yeah.
I think,
well, we saw that with what was it, like The Little Mermaid or something like that? I don't remember exactly what role it was recently that came up where people were talking about it, and they're like, well, historically, this is a Nordic character, and they're white, and it ruins the whole thing. Like, well, first of all, we're talking about like fantasy and made up shit to begin with, right? These aren't real people, and we've adopted all these stories from other cultures, and then we've radically changed them. They don't even fit anything remotely close to their their original stories. So none of this stuff matters as far as like sticking to the origin stories. I don't know. People are just trying to hold on to something that's not like a thing, making shit up.
But I have seen it gotten better. So the other part was that so then he asked, so
who is this Smurf? Where's Smurf? Bring on the Smurf.
I don't want to call him out, dang it.
Where's he at?
I don't know. You should probably ping him.
Yeah.
He's probably having wifey time. What was I gonna say? Oh, there was no, the other question was, okay, since he agreed that we should enable there being the appropriate casting for those cartoons, at least make the effort to push minority roles onto those roles that are created as minority. But his other question was, okay, so would it be fair to simply say, if you're creating a white character or cartoon character, should it be a white person voicing that character, and same thing with if it's a Black or Hispanic or whatever? I kind of feel, I don't know. I feel a little mixed about it. Because yes, I mean, it'll be appropriate because it'll fit that character, and I presumably the voice will fit with it too. But I think the other part I'm thinking about is, it's not so, because you don't know who's behind the voice, right? It's all about who can create the best voice for that cartoon character. So if, for instance, you happen to have this white cartoon character and you put a white person with it, but the voice is not right to the voice director or whoever casts them, then they supposedly put another person in place of that is not white, but the voice is fitting. Is that bad?
Yeah, it's tough. One of the things that I really stuck out to me and I remember is because I watched the show obsessively, is Dragon Ball Z. Goku's voice actor in the Japanese version is a older Japanese woman, right? That voices
Yeah.
Goku. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
It's Masako Noza. I can't pronounce it,
It's okay. Same with
but
Naruto.
yeah. So I mean, and I think this is actually pretty common in anime where they don't really care about the gender roles as long as the voice fits the
The voice
character.
fit. Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like it's less of an issue in anime. They don't have the same historical problems that we have here, where it's not like this was meant for a white person to do, and then this Japanese person took the role, right? But here it's like we have such a history of whitewashing and white people taking black roles or Hispanic roles, just whatever the roles are, and it's not like there's also an abundance of roles available for these other people. It's like, look, the last samurai should not have been a white guy, right? We need to, like, if we're making a movie, we can make an effort to, like, there's just not a whole lot of like samurai movies starring Japanese people that with that culture, right? So we should make an effort to, especially if there's not already a huge availability of this, to not just shove insert famous white actor into this role, because what was it, another movie was canceled recently because of that. Ghost in the not canceled, Ghost in the
Ghost in the
Shell.
Yeah, that's right. Who was supposed to
that was
I don't remember.
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yes, that's right. She was supposed to play her.
Yeah, she's playing a Japanese woman or something, and she's about as white as it gets.
Yes.
So you go from what is it, Natasha Romanoff to so
yeah.
It's mostly in my opinion problematic when it's a role for a minority, when there's not a lot of other ones available, and you just insert random famous white person because they're going to draw box office numbers.
Right. Yeah. I think there was there was a lot of talk in, I guess you call it pre-production, I don't know, with the because Disney's doing a lot of live action movies, right? And the latest one was Mulan. So there was a lot of talk about that one. Yeah. But they actually cast it right, obviously.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it though.
But now the backlash is getting ahead. Like, it's getting like pre-lash, forward lash, however you want to describe it. But people are calling it out before it even happened, so they can insert a course correction before they make these same mistakes. And and from their perspective, I get it, right? They just want to put a big box office name in the role,
right? Because that's how it grabs attention, and
right. So they think that it's going to help, but that's not what people want to see when they, especially if it's a live action make of a movie that they've already associated with.
But see, that's a damaging part of it, because we're already so used to all these big name white roles, right? White people names or whatever. So we already created like this small space to where we can't identify those other big names that aren't white. Like, I appreciate, what's his name? I mean, I can only name a few that, like Idris Elba, Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Denzel's son.
Denzel hasn't been in anything in a while.
I know. I was gonna say Denzel's son.
Hey, I'll be right back. Hold on.
All right. I guess we're on a hold. We're on a hold. Anybody listening out there, hi, it's Jena. We're just chatting. You can find us in the International Freethinkers Discord if you want to join us, video chat, whatnot. Justin has me on a hold. That's okay though.
There's a lot of fireworks going on around here.
Bro, I've been having fireworks going on since Memorial Day every night. People don't stop.
They're going ham.
I forget it was 4th of July weekend. Ooh, that salad I made was good.
Good.
About to make this cake tomorrow. So there was an interesting question or like kind of chat I had with, not really a chat. It was like a small, like, I guess it was just getting my opinion. I haven't really thought about it much, but I'm not too sure if I was right to say
You are
it.
you are the authority now. You are the Black female atheist. You're the one.
I'm the BFA.
Yeah, don't let your people down.
Woo! I won't let. I see Christine. I won't let her. I'm the VFA. That's my new name. Change it. What was it? I guess.
Christine, you should join us.
I know Christine. Hi. It was, what was he saying? I guess his, given all the protests and all the, the murders of, George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and everything. I guess his a member from AC he was mentioning that his company are trying to, or in talks of reaching out to, those African American communities to pull students into their company to pretty much get them going in the workplace. So okay. they're experiencing a lack of diversity in the workplace. So they're trying to pull young students, basically having them furloughing from going to college and just working them into the field without a degree.
So like an intern to work, to intern to hiring pipeline.
Right.
But yeah, I guess that would help if there's like legit training involved and and transferable training, right? And transferable experience, because nobody wants to be locked into a company, and getting the degree gives you that, it doesn't make you locked into some company that makes you sign some contract or whatever it is. So you take our training, our 2-year program, and now you have to stick with us for how long, or not saying they're doing all that, but these are like potential downsides that I see in fields that I work in, where if you're getting hired without a certification or a degree or something that's transferable, then you might be locked into that one place.
Yeah, that's because that was his concern too. And so I had said, at least, I mean, it could work 2 ways if it would make it a bit better, because, you would hate to have yourself locked in that situation and you can't really get out of it, or you get let go and you have nothing else to fall back on. Either the company can do that said program, but the extra incentive is that whatever their earnings are, part of that goes towards funding towards their school, and then they go to school that way. Or if that person's smart enough, taking that funding while they're participating or while they're employed, use that earning to just put them in school while they're working themselves. But I think the first one is a better incentive, obviously, because you have a company not only wanting to hire you in, but is working with you so you can go ahead and get that degree.
Yeah, that's definitely sounds like a better setup to me. And
it's not like I haven't heard that before.
And people are capable of taking classes and working and stuff at the same time, as long as they're in the position to do so. But that's definitely a better setup for the future. So it's good that they want to, bring them in, give them a job, work experience without necessarily all the debt of going to school and college and stuff. But, even people that are in college or graduated from college are having a hard time finding work in their field. So it's tough to who to prioritize in that scenario.
Yeah.
But if you can afford to, hire somebody on and give them that work experience and also help reimburse their college, that's probably going to be the most beneficial.
I guess I did say it the right way. And I also just said, like, not everyone is meant to go to college, right? I mean, you have college now, it's just like you get that 4-year degree, but it doesn't really take you anywhere, depending on what it is. It's all about like trade schools. Like when I got my 4-year degree, I didn't use it really. It kind of helped me as far as, prereqs are concerned to get me into my nursing school. And then I got a job because I had a license behind me.
Right. Yeah. And I work in construction, kind of a unique field in there, but, and it's not, there's not enough like apprenticeships and trade programs for everybody either. So it's not like everybody can just pile into this, but, the people that work trades, they work decent hours for one, and they make just as much or more money than, people that go to college after, a similar amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And their skills are transferable across, the country, even internationally.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not saddled with the same debt, and they learn a skill, and a lot of people learn skills that are useful outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's definitely a valid option that we should put more emphasis on and provide more support into going that route. And even with some apprenticeships, you don't necessarily even need to go to school. Like, you can just start a lot of on-the-job training.
That's true. I have the beeping. Sorry.
Beep, beep, beep.
That's what's plugged into my wall.
That sounds like your microwave is done. But you have a really fancy microwave, not one of those angry microwaves.
Yeah, in my room.
Hold on. This is the microwave right here.
Where are you? You're okay. You're not in a bedroom though. Shit. Whatever, man. This is how I live. I live on the floor. My life. Shit. It went off again. Sorry, folks.
I like the floor.
I like the floor. It's fun. Oh shoot. So I finished reading that book by Candace Gorham, Ebony Exodus Project. So good.
Oh, what was it called again?
The Ebony Exodus Project by Candace Gorham.
Huh.
It's good. I think because I
what's it about? Can you describe it?
Yeah. So basically, she pretty much, most of the book is about interviews or stories that she conducted for like about a year or two. Mm-hmm. And so she created this book with telling the stories of these various Black atheist women in various points of their lives. And so, or varying ages, I should say. And so they pretty much just relate their experience with religion and coming out of it, and their experience, with family and with the church and their opinions and things like that. But also she puts in like what I call Black people facts. Of what
Did you coined that term?
I did. You like it? Like BFA? Yeah. So in between the chapters, she lays out, the Black female experience when going through a church and why it's so harmful towards a Black woman, with the belief and all that stuff. There was like so many parts that made me cry. It's really, really good. So yeah, I think I'm trying to find this book by Sakivu Hutchinson, Mortal Kombat, but I can't find it anywhere.
Mortal Kombat.
Not like, and every time I Google Mortal Kombat, obviously I get the results.
What you gotta do is like on Google, you can hit minus and then like game or something like that, and it'll omit any results with that.
I'm not that smart. I should have done that.
Well, is it spelled with a K? Combat with a K?
No, spelled like how it's supposed to.
Like spelled it the correct way.
The correct way. Yes,
nerds.
Thank you.
Who is it by?
Sakivu Hutchinson. Sikivu. Yeah, I said that right. Trying to find that book, but yeah.
All right. Well, I can't find it.
Oh, great.
If I can't find it, it's not real.
That's fine. Okay. Well, next week we'll have Giggler talk about his Mormon experience.
Mormon shit. Sorry, I'm out. What did I do? You didn't join us. That is wrong.
Who was that? Oh.
Surf.
Oh, that's fine.
He who was not be named.
Oh. No, so next week we'll have Giggler talk about, his conversations with these two Mormon guys he's been talking to for the last, I don't know, month or so. I guess his purpose, I've been on and off talking to him about this. It's not as so much of him trying to make the point that he's right, but he has such a fundamental interest in wanting to learn from them and why they continue to believe what they believe, which is exactly the reason why I like to have those conversations too. So I totally understand. But Giggler, he has to do things, the interesting way.
The interesting way?
The interesting way.
What is the interesting way?
I don't know. Not really that interesting.
Wow. I'm telling him you said that.
Shh, don't tell him.
The interesting way.
The interesting way.
The interesting, non-interesting way. Got it.
What else? You want to wrap up?
I mean, we can, or we can just talk about other things.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Not a whole lot. Just kind of taking a breather from social media news.
Again, for the 20th, 1000th time?
Yeah, it's definitely it's difficult to stay active around the clock. And there's enough content. There's enough there to be constantly involved and constantly reading and constantly posting and interacting to keep you occupied 24/7. It's just it takes a toll, especially when you have when you still work, you're working full time, kids, family, house, friends, page, then you got all your social media stuff on top of that. It
yeah
be overwhelming.
So why is it dragging you into wanting to have these like mini fights?
Because there's a lot of stupid.
I like that.
There's
a lot of stupid.
There's not like I'm sure there's more polite and eloquent ways of saying it, but there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of people that are intentionally mischaracterizing events. There's like we saw earlier, there was a confrontation where the lady that pulled the gun on the other lady here in Michigan said, racist people don't exist. Essentially, that's all made up. And then she pulls a gun on the lady. And like, I just watched another video earlier of a soldier that came home from Afghanistan after being deployed. He went and visited his friend, and some white lady is like cussing him out, calling him the N-word, saying, I hate black people, and just ranting. And I'm like, how do you square these two? How do you have on one hand somebody saying that this doesn't exist, and there's clear video evidence of it right here, right? And it's like, how much time and effort do you put into this to try to combat it and try to, enlighten people before you dig yourself into this hole of, spending all your time and energy on it. But, you got to balance like what's worth it. Like what are you actually achieving? Your effort versus result ratio has to make sense.
So that's why you're so drained on a consistent basis.
Oh, yeah. And it's been like this for months.
Yeah.
Like every day. It's just bombarded.
Started with COVID. Yeah. It started with COVID, and then we had the murders. So now, all that we
murders.
Then we had the murder hornets. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, shutting down stuff.
and COVID was when I started being active on my Facebook page again.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly just posting memes and this and that. But when I was into it before, doing pages and groups and stuff, it was primarily hello, Lemon.
Hey,
Um,
Lim.
it was primarily spending time researching and talking to anti-vaxxers, people that
Mm-hmm.
are anti-GMO.
Yeah, I know you had said you did that for years.
Yeah, for a long time, and not like as any sort of expert. I mean, we read, we research, we talk to experts. Ooh, Kathy's here.
Kathy's here.
Everybody be good.
Kathy.
Sorry. But it's it's
Yeah.
a hobby that turns into a chore, and it's between managing in pages and groups is one thing, but then you have to basically have these mini debates with people all day every day, and you never feel accomplished. You don't ever feel like you did anything.
No.
It's just a constant battle, and you feel like you're in some sort of like online digital war zone where you're constantly trying to combat misinformation by sharing links and resources and tagging in experts on these fields to give like thorough explanations, and you have to like you got to be better at balancing it than I am.
Yeah.
I spend too much time on it.
Yeah, you do. So I mean, I see that you put all this effort in it, and I assume that it's not really getting you anywhere. So why do you still do it?
Sometimes you feel like so I do know people that have told me, explicitly saying, hey, talking to you guys, the kind of people that we're involved with, made me change my mind, right? They made me realize that I was mistaken. It's very, very similar to religion, where people are indoctrinated, they're misinformed, they're brought up believing one thing. And there are people that are fence sitters, that are reasonable people that just haven't applied their critical thinking and reason to these particular topics. And when shown evidence, or when talked to by somebody that is willing to take the time and explain and engage in a civil manner, they are receptive to it. And then those people in turn around and become the most effective people at communicating, because they know what it's like to be on both sides. They know the mindset.
Yeah.
So sometimes you do, you feel like you reach people, but there's just an endless supply of every possible, deranged theory out there, whatever you want to call it, between like flat Earth and climate change isn't real, and vaccines cause autism,
all the good stuff.
COVID is a Chinese hoax, and they're all the same people. It's not like you have a whole bunch of people that are like all pro science in every aspect, and then they just up out of nowhere they go COVID-19 is a democratic hoax. Right? It's like a certain mindset that where they somehow mix up skepticism and critical and thinking, and they and questioning
that
and it just kind of devolves into this like conspiratorial
I see that with like quite a few people on the server. Like they label themselves as being a skeptic. Oh, I'm just laying out these facts, or I'm just asking questions, or these are the facts about this, and I'm just like, you're totally like, and then you point them to the actual shit, and they're like, yeah, it's exactly how you said. They label them as skeptic, but they're really just pushing more conspiracies on top of more conspiracies.
And they're very cynical. They believe, it's I think it's like a whole mindset, a whole disbelief in this whole anti-authoritarian thing where the experts can't be trusted and this and that. But then they find people to latch onto that they can be trusted, apparently, because they just believe whatever they say, even though they know nothing.
It's the oddest thing.
It's really tough.
Yeah, it really, really is.
And it's like I said, it's the same type of reasoning, the same type of pitfalls and judgment, the same fallacies, the same everything as religious thinking. Especially when you get into like some of the more fringe stuff like creationism, people that are literalists.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of the same type of argument. And a lot of these groups, they overlap.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I don't know. It's a lot of work.
This is a lot of work. Speaking of a lot of work, well, thank you, Kathy. You're so sweet. Do you want to put your face on here so I can see you?
Yeah, Jenna spent the whole 5 minutes making this background.
I've spent the whole 5 minutes. Like, it was tough. It's good stuff, though. Thank you. What was I gonna say? I did send a ping outreach because I'm trying to get myself a little bit more involved, listening to a lot more things, reading a lot more things, being all like on the up and up, being woke.
This is why you need my go-go juice to be extra woke.
That you're slowly dying. No, so I sent an outreach on the IF server, just wanting to broaden my conversations or on the conversations I want to have to Black female atheists, because I don't see streamers like that. I just continue to see the common people that you see, which is fine, but they're still like you.
They look like me. A little better, a little worse. They look very similar.
A little bit. So I'm wanting to see. I can't talk anymore. I lost my voice. I choked. So if any of you would like to have a discussion with me, and if you're a Black female atheist, please DM me. Because I really would like to have more of the types of discussion as far as experiences coming out of religion, or even if you're still in your religion, that's okay too. Just having that general talk and just broadening, IFWAS, just broadening BFA. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw that out there now. Just broadening this, just broadening the field for content creators and people that are searching for different types of content creators in general. So if any of you know anyone like that, please come to me, talk to me. What else was I going to say? I guess that's it.
Woo.
Mormons next week.
Mormons
next week with the giggler. Oh, did you say you were going to create a poll?
Yeah, on the server.
We're going to create a poll on the server. If any of you want to talk about anything or bring up any kind of topics or talk to us about anything, let us know. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a Q&A on the server with Ethan Michael.
Oh, boy.
AKA your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Atheist, excuse me.
Spider atheist.
Spider atheist. Yeah. Q&A with your friendly neighborhood atheist tomorrow on the IF server and Lounge Voice text channel hashtag. I forget what time. I'm sorry. I'll ping it later. Anything else?
Hashtag.
Do we have a hashtag?
Hashtag ping. Do we?
I don't know.
Yeah, don't forget me. Don't forget me, or me not forget something else.
I think she's saying don't forget something else.
Yeah, but she's saying don't forget me.
Don't forget Justin. We will not forget Justin. Justin, you are needed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No, we just have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
That I'm not a part of.
You don't face page.
I don't do anything face.
A face page or a face group.
Sorry. I'm trying. Not really.
No, don't do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I see the turmoil that you put yourself through every
You
other
look like
day.
this in 3 months. You see this hairline?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I'd become more white, but all
You see
right,
how pale this is?
that's pretty bad. It looks good on you though. Yes, Kathy. Yeah, Justin. Don't forget the Q&A tomorrow
All right,
with
we're
your
going.
friendly neighborhood atheist.
Somebody will be there.
Naya. Someone will be there, and we will talk to Ethan, and he will say great things.
Great.
Okay, I guess we're gonna sign off now. You guys take care. Good night.
Bye.